Hello, welcome back to Writers World Radio, episode 37. I shall be your relaxing host, Matthew Gragan. So, the summer is in full swing. It's the 4th of July, Independence Day here in America. Canada Day was just ahead of us, or behind us. What does that say to you? It says, I think it's time for a top 5 summer reading list. And what do you know? I happen to have a top 5 summer reading list for you right here. So let's hit it. Let's find out what are my top 5 suggestions. I wasn't just going with a single book. That was too easy. And too numerous in some ways. I'm going to pose a little bit of a challenge. It's still early in the summer. What should the kids or you be reading? How about a series? There's still plenty of times. In series, especially over the summer, you can speed right through them, relaxing on the beach, poolside, in your room during a storm, in your backyard, sunning, reading a book. Many options available to you. So what did I come up with? Let's see here and see if you agree. Any of your suggestions, feel free to put in the comments below or put it on the Facebook and Twitter feeds. So let's start off with number 5. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. You got sci-fi, you got adventure, you have a two-headed talking alien. I mean, what kind of fun, isn't a two-head talking alien? The two-head talking alien, I mean, that's just excitement right there. And they're British, to top it off. Sci-fi, British, two-head talking alien going over to space in just complete craziness. So let's start off with that in number 5. Number 4 is a twofer. Number 4, I'm bending the rules and I'm going with 2 for number 4 because they're kind of synonymous with each other. The Hardy Boys by Franklin W. Dixon and Nancy Drew by Carolyn Keene. Or are they? Both of them, though, great mystery stories. There's plenty of books in this series. You got plenty of Hardy Boys books that you can go through. Plenty of Nancy Drew books. You got Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew books combined where they teamed up. So, nice little mystery stories. Got, again, the adventure. And, okay, some of the stuff may seem a little dated nowadays with modern technology not being in them. They're talking about dialing up on phones, rotaries. But it's still good reads. There's still great adventures, great mysteries to be held within those series. I dare you not to find one. So that's number 4 and number 4. Number 3, I'm going with something a lot more contemporary. And that's going to be the Percy Jackson and the Olympians by Rick Riordan. I apologize on that. I mean, come on. You're following the adventures of a boy growing up who felt kind of out of place to find out that he is the son of a god. Of Poseidon, to be exact. That's a little bit of a spoiler in case you haven't read. Well, not too much of a spoiler. You find that out relatively quickly. And the adaptation from going from an everyday life, find out his best friend is not exactly what he thought it was. And adapting to his new life in this new realm amongst other children of the gods, as it were. So, great series. It keeps expanding, well written, and a lot of fun in those books. So definitely something to look into if you're looking for a kind of adventure. But to go with something, again, going a little older and a little more British, for my number 2 spot, one of my personal favorites. And a lot of people only know it by the one book, not realizing that there's 7 books. A series that some say is based on the Bible. And the main book is the story of Jesus Christ. I'm talking none other than The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe's whole series, The Chronicles of Narnia, by C.S. Lewis. These stories, again, filled with adventure, bright ideas, compelling stories, characters that you can bond with and just have a good time with. You got the fantasy, you got World War II Europe, and kind of the contrast of what's going on there with what's going on in the books. And again, one of my personal favorites. One I've always recommended ever since I've read the Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe back in third grade, I believe it was. So that's number 2. Number 1 is a companion to it. Most people don't realize it. The two authors were best mates in the universities. And they're kind of similar in some aspects because they both draw a lot of images off of World War II and what was going on in contemporary days and place it into a fantasy setting. Now, this fantasy setting is not Narnia. It is Middle-earth, and my number 1 pick for the series to read over the summer of 2017 or whatever summer you're currently in, whenever you're watching or listening to this. It's none other than The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. Again, you got the Middle-earth, you got grand adventures. Just the amount of action and just the wealth and depth of medieval and dragons and mythical creatures, the elves and talking trees. Fantastic. It's slightly more advanced than, say, some of the other ones, but you know your reading capabilities. But don't sell yourself short on it. And you could throw The Hobbit in with it as well. So there you have it. My top 5 summer reading lists. What are some of your suggestions? What did I not put on there? I did like Harry Potter. Another good one. Or Eragon. But you tell me. What do you think I should have had on there as well? Put in the comments below. Again, send out the Facebook feed. Email the show. It's all available to you. And what are your suggestions for some shows? We're moving into the summer stretch here. I'll try and put out a few more. I know I missed a couple of weeks. But what are your suggestions for some shows? What would you like to hear me talk about? Or what can we discuss? Email the show. writersworldradio@yahoo.com. Or social media is more your thing? No, why not? It's modern age. Send it on the Twitter. Everyone's talking about the Twitter nowadays. It's all over the news. Twitter is @MatthewJGregan. Use the hashtag WritersWorldRadio. And same with Facebook. Use hashtag WritersWorldRadio on there too. But that address is a little different. It's facebook.com/MatthewJGregan. Let me know what you think of the shows. Let me know any suggestions that you have. Let me know what are some of your favorite reading lists. If you go back to a couple episodes ago and you have a suggestion for that, or want to continue the conversation, please continue the conversation. That's the wonderful thing about modern day media. The conversation never has to end, and the conversation only gets better when you get yourself involved. Now, I hope everyone's having a good time. I hope your summer is going well. If you're in the southern hemisphere, I hope your winter is going well. And you're able to get your writing in. Remember, 10 minutes a day, that's all it takes. 10 minutes a day of either research, character development, particularly 10 minutes a day of writing. Sitting down, putting that pen to the paper, fingers to the keyboard, the words onto the word processor. You will get a lot further than you ever think. Believe in yourself. You can do it. You have the idea. The idea is in your head and in your heart. And it's not someone else's idea. It is your idea. Especially once you start writing it. Because no one else can write your stories. Only you can. Believe in yourself and you can make it happen. Thank you again for your time. And I hope everyone's doing well. And I shall see you next time. Happy Independence Day, America.